Hey, thanks for tuning in. On this episode, I'm going to talk about the secrets to getting your increase. There's actually 5 secrets that I want to share with you. But before I do, allow me a minute to welcome you to Navigating Heroes channel podcast and YouTube, the video podcast. My name is Eric, and I'm the founder, retired, accredited VSO officer and Army veteran. This channel is to help veterans get their VA benefits and understand the VA process so veterans do not waste their money on attorneys and scammers or waste their time. Okay, so let's get to the episode. Okay, so today's episode is going to be about 5 secrets to help you get your increase your VA disability rating. The first one is one that I've tried to find a lot of information on just to see what everyone else was talking about. And I really didn't find much at all. And it's one of the most important ones, and it's right there in front of your face whenever you go to fill out a claim for VA. It's on all the forms. It's the ECFR, the Electronic Code of Federal Regulation. When you go to the ECFR, and I want everybody to do this just to, see how you feel about navigating through it. You're going to go to Title 38, and that's going to be the pensions, bonuses, and veteran reliefs. Now, when you click on the Title 38, you're going to see this little table, and it's going to have a few boxes on it, and it's going to say title, volume, chapter, browse parts, and something else. On the browse parts, under it, it's 0 to 17, then like 18 to something, blah, 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 blah. You want to click on the 0 to 17, okay? Now, once that comes up, and this is really important, extremely important, you're going to scroll down to Part 4. The only things you would ever really need to look at is 3, 4, and 17, dealing with VA. But because we're talking about an increase in disabilities and things like that, we're going to go to 4. So it's actually going to be called the Schedule for Rating Disability. That's Part 4. So when you click on it, there's going to be 2 subparts, A and B. Now, A is going to have a lot of important information about the essentials of evaluated rating, examination reports, resolution of reasonable doubt, evaluating of evidence, higher of 2 evaluations, function impairments, total disability ratings, unemployability, combined rating table, bilateral factors, 0% evaluation, things like that. So what we want to do, because we're working on the increase, right? We want to go to down below, the Part B. Part B is the disability ratings. And it's going to be broken down to parts of the body. So I think the first one is musculoskeletal system. And under that, you're going to see function loss, history of injury, bones, joints, muscle injuries, evaluation of muscle disabilities, static foot deformities, arthritis due to strains, and then it goes to schedule of ratings. Now, this is what I want you to look at. No matter if it's muscular skeleton or any of the other parts of the body, whatever you are going to be filing the increase for, go to the schedule of ratings. It's going to be under like impairment of auditory. That's going to be the hearing, infectious diseases, respiratory system, cardiovascular, digestive, mental disorders, dental and oral conditions. Whenever you click on that, whatever you're going to be doing your increase on, go to the schedule of ratings, because this is extremely important. It'll actually show you in these tables if you have, take for instance, and I'm just throwing this out there. In one of the tables, if it says, service connected, and that's all you got, 0%. Okay, so it's now at 0%, or now you have the service connected, but you also have radiating pain, 20%. Let's talk about, like a back. Arthritis. Now it's 30%, but you have like the arthritis and the pain. Then you have all these other things. And then 100%, your entire spine is turned into a complete bone, something like that. So, and I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not even saying that's the right table, but I want you to go over there and look at the schedule of ratings. And what it will say is there's actually going to be trigger words and other different symptoms and treatments and, trigger words from the doctor and things like that. And then you look to the right and it'll show you the percentage. So this is one thing that I share with people because I don't want them thinking they're going to be getting an increase. And, they're actually going in there and talking about, well, all my records and everything I said was 10%, and that's why I got it. So I want you to understand how the increase works before you go and you talk to people and they're saying, oh, yeah, all you got to do is go to the doctor a couple times, get a prescription, and, yeah, you get an increase. Over what, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? No, it's got to be frequent. So to understand the entire increase procedure and protocols, go to the ECFR. Now, with that, you go to the ECFR and you start studying this and going through all this. You can actually shut some of these scammers and fake attorneys and fake vets up because you'll know more than they will. Keep in mind that the ECFR gets updated. Matter of fact, it was just updated May 4th of this year, 2021. So I really want you to understand the ECFR. That's one of the most important things, and I believe is the number one secret because it covers every single claim, every single benefit you'll ever have to know about when it comes to VA. So work on that. So be able to understand that so you can understand where you stand. That's a lot of stands. With that being said, now I'm going to give you a few more of the secrets, and I'm going to do it in layman's terms. So I want you to picture it this way. Okay, so let's pretend that you are VA. And you were driving your car and you ran into somebody and messed up their car, and now you have to pay for damages. So what would you want to see to determine how much you would have to pay out? What if they didn't have any doctor's visits and, but it was, it had a little wreck. Okay. So, a little scratch. So what is that? $100 to buff out, if anything. So that's probably about 0%. But what if the car and the person you hit, had a lot of damage, had some estimates, the person had some doctor visits, and can't work for a little bit, okay? Maybe 20%, maybe 30%. But what if the car was totaled and the person had chronic back pain, multiple painkillers, different kind of therapies and treatments, secondary conditions, and, it's got worse and worse and worse, and they can't work? Boom, 100%. Well, VA is no different. So imagine that you are the one that the VA hit, and you were a new car, and after the VA ran into you, you've got some damage. So now it's time to file your claim with their insurance company. But first, you've got to get some estimates, your medical documents. You've got to get some treatment. You've got to get these things. So, I've seen some vets, actually some of the vet YouTube videos, and they're telling you, hey, look, you go to the doctor, quit trying to suck it up. When you're in the, when you're active duty, you need to go to the doctor so we can actually, or the VA can actually, make that connection. Let's see. So let's go ahead and jump into secret number 2. Your words. Okay. A lot of people, they prepare for the CMP exam by not saying good or great, because remember, these doctors are note takers, not decision makers. They're note takers in how you present yourself and the words you say they're going to be using. So if you go in there and they say, hey, how was your drive? How was this? Oh, it was good. It was great. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, how you doing today? It's a habit where a lot of us just say, Hey, I'm good. How are you? They're going to write that down. Okay. So get it in your mind not to use the word good or great. And whenever they ask you a question about the pain, don't say the word often. Do not say the word often. Often to someone that, let's say, that's a Vietnam vet, 65 years old, the word often could be every 10 years, every 15 years. But if you say the word frequent, or if you go into detail as far as saying how much it occurs during the week, migraines 3 times a week, 4 times a month, whatever the case may be, go into detail, paint the picture. Don't just sit there and say often and things like that, because there's a lot of these trigger words that you'll see on the ECFR. The word often is 0 to 20%. The word frequent is 30 to 50. And that goes without saying. I'm not saying that's going to be your total percentage because of those words. I'm just saying when all that information, everything gets jumbled up into one thing and they're trying to dissect and figure out exactly your percentage, those words will go a long ways. Most importantly, though, don't stop seeing the doctor. Don't stop seeing the doctor. Even after you file your claim, I always tell everybody, as soon as you file your claim, go to the doctor. Go to the doctor that day, the next day, something like that, because you can be working on your appeal, your reconsideration, your supplement, and also your increase. So whatever the VA gives you, let's just take that in consideration. You're going to do more documentation. Secret number 1, understanding the ECFR. Secret number 2, your words. Number 3, secret. It's not really secret, but you've got to get to the doctor. You have got to. Now, the thing is that people tell me, they say, it's not going to work. I can't do it. It's going to take 4 to 6 months to get into the VA. Well, one of the secrets are, guess what? It's a clinic. It's a hospital. They have walk-in visits. Okay. So whenever you get there and you go to the front and, there's somebody at the counter and they say, hey, well, your appointment's not for another 2 or 3 months. You say, okay, well, that's fine, but I'm going to go ahead and be a walk-in. They give you this form you fill out with your last 4, your date, your symptoms, the reason why you're there, how long it's been going, and then they say, okay, they fill it out, and they say, wait in the lobby. We'll get you taken care of. About 45 minutes later, you're seeing a doctor. Boom, medical evidence. Now, with COVID and everything, a lot of people are scared of going out, and hey, that's your thing. I'm not going to say anything about it. So think of the phone call to your doctor is the same thing, okay? They're going to record everything that you guys talk about. So secret number 1, ECFR. Secret number 2, your words. 3, the doctor visits. 4, prescriptions. The prescriptions are kind of tricky because every time you go to the doctor, and I hate to say this about the VA, but a lot of times it's a drugstore. It's not a hospital, because the thing is that every time you go in, they're like, we don't know what else to do without an MRI, so we can start getting you treatment. Okay. So the protocol is they're just going to try to see what helps and get a little bit more in depth with, however they do it. But one thing I want to tell you about is the 2 words, reportable and recordable. So if you go to the doctor and let's say it's for just some pain or swelling or something like that, and the doctor tells you, well, it's swelling, so just go ahead and get some ibuprofen, take it for a couple of days, and you should be good to go. Ask the doctor if they can just prescribe it to you, because whenever they tell you, hey, go ahead and take some ibuprofen, that's reportable. And it really doesn't show up on your records that you had to take ibuprofen. But if they say, okay, we're going to prescribe you some ibuprofen, now it's recordable. It's recorded into your documents that you need a prescription. And although it may be mild, it's a stepping stone. Remember, we're talking about increasing, okay? So always try to get that prescription. So secret number 1, ECFR, understand it. 2, your words. 3, doctor visits, get them going. 4, prescriptions, get them recorded. 5, secret number 5, which it really isn't a secret either, but people neglect it, is treatments. If you file your claim And as soon as you get your award letter and it says, okay, we're giving you 30%, don't sit there and say, hey, I want to file a increase right now. Because guess what? The information and the documentation they had before, they have now. So you're going to get the same. They're not going to leave anything out. So think about something that can just catapult you. That's going to be treatments. Now, if you have a jacked up back and neck and things like that, and you have impairment in your motion and your range of motion is off, and you're sitting there and you're on the treadmill and you're on the rowing machine and you're on that whatever crazy bike thing and they're doing all these things and you make it to 12 treatments and you did a great job, guess what? You don't have that impairment. You might be getting a decrease. If you're hurt, let the physical therapist know. If you cannot complete the exercises or the treatment or the therapy, don't do it. Don't think that you have to do it because the doctor told you to. You've got to listen to your body. Look, man, we are not in the military anymore. We're getting old, okay? And our bodies are falling apart. And, let's just listen to our bodies for once. And you can go back to, being stubborn, after a while. But so these are the things. Secret number one, the ECFR, I believe, is the most important thing. Secret two, your words. 3, doctor visits. 4, prescriptions. 5, treatments. And I also want to say something about this. Okay, this isn't in my script or anything, but there have been some vets that say, hey, but I'm not able to make my appointments because I'm a single parent. Check with your VA hospitals and clinic and see if they have a daycare. I do know that the Dallas VA, it actually has a daycare. I think it's called the Carousel or something like that. And what it does is that when you have an appointment, you get with the Dallas VA and you tell them, hey, I've got some kids, I'm a single parent, and they'll say, okay, how many kids, what's their age, blah, blah, blah. And when you take them there, they have the actual daycare there. So there's a lot of different things that VA is doing, but no one really knows about these things that are going on. And this is what's making my YouTube's channels different than a few other people. I'm letting you know these little hidden secrets. But it's not a secret. Look, you get ready to file, and even after you understand the ECFR, you know what words to use, you've had your doctor's visits, you know that you want to record your prescriptions, and you've dealt with your treatments. Still, the number one thing is, or there's a lot of number one things, they're all number ones. Plan ahead, though. And always consult with an accredited VA rep before you file. I'm not talking about, well, you know them, they're scammers. And be leery of someone that says, hey, man, for $400, we can get you a diagnosis. For $1,000, we can do this. $800, look, this is free stuff, okay? This is free to the veterans. So when someone tries to sit there and tell you that, hey, for this amount of money, we're going to be able to get you, your percentage. Just run from them, man. They don't know what they're talking about. And if all else fails, make a drive. One day, make the drive to an actual VA and speak with a VA rep, and they'll put you on the right path. And let's see. That really basically about does it for this one and this episode. But before I go, I want to give a special thanks to it's ARC Assurance Group, and they're an insurance broker out of Tyler, Texas. They've been established since 1977. You can look them up on the web at arcassurance.com. That's one word. This this group of people, they are just amazing. And I just wanted to throw this out there, a thank you to them. For Christmas, right before Christmas, it was 18 care packages for veterans that they put together. And these care packages were so big. I have an extended cab truck. It's a big Ram truck. It was full. They had it completely full. And I went around, playing Santa Claus. And these guys have been helping vets for a while. And I just want to give them, Lisa and everybody over there a shout out, man. I still just appreciate you. And, veterans are still, saying, man, that was so awesome. That was so awesome. And so, usually I give a little shout out to someone in the community that's helping vets. And so with this episode, I definitely want to, say a little special to ARC Assurance Group. They're in Tyler, Texas. So I hope you guys learned something. I hope something opened your eyes. And, work on these things and let's get these things down. Let's get this number, 22 a day. We got to bring this down, man. And we got to be there for each other. So the next episode, I'm going to be talking about secondary conditions. And we will go from there. So if you guys have any kind of comments you want to leave me, I know there's some things going on with the comments on videos right now with YouTube, because I think, people are getting their feelings hurt or whatever. So you can email me, okay, if there's something you want me to make an episode about. You can YouTube to me at vet.rep21@gmail.com. That's my personal email, but hey man, it's cool. So let me know what you think and we'll go from there. All right. Talk to you guys soon.